is Mena Ayman. I work as a junior psychologist here at MindTribe. And today we have our co-host Ria Disa with us. Ria, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hello everyone, my name is Ria Disa. I am a trainee counselor at MindTribe and the co-host for today. Before starting, there are some ground rules that you need to keep in mind for the workshop. Please make sure that your video and mic are off at all time. If you want to say something or if you want to answer a question or ask a question, please raise your hand before doing so. You can also use the chat box to ask questions or to say something that you want. Also, this workshop is going to be recorded. The slides and the audio will only be recorded, and your messages on the chat box will not be recorded. Thank you.
Thank you, Ria. So let's move on. So the subsequent clients are the copyright of MindTribe. So please refrain from recording or taking pictures of the slides. You can take the note down. So it's totally fine, but refrain from taking pictures or to record the workshop. All right. So today we are going to discuss on what is love, what's the concept of love tank, what's the feeling of love, and we'll be introducing the love languages. We have few case studies to understand better, and we have certain tips to learn the language, and we have a quiz which will help you in understanding what is your love language. All right. So let's dive into the big question of what is love. So what comes to your mind when you think of love? Does anybody want to share their thoughts on what they think on what love is? You can write it in the chat box, or just raise your hands and you can answer. All right, Noah. Okay, let me tell. So love. Okay, Shubhangi says love is unconstitutional, unconditional. Okay, yes, right. Thank you for sharing, Shubhangi. So love is such a universal thing, right? But it can mean so many different things to different people. So some see love as that warm, fuzzy feeling you get when you're with someone special, while others might describe it as a deep bond, trust, or even commitment. So love isn't just about romance. It's about the connection, whether it's with your partner, your friends, your family, or even your pet. So, ever had that one friend who just knows exactly how to cheer you up when you're down, or maybe a family member who always remembers your favorite food or dessert? So that's love in action, and it's showing up in different ways. So, love is a bit like a language, one that we all speak, but in our own unique ways. And today we are going to decode this language. So let's dive right into it. All right. So, what is a love tank? So, is your love tank empty? So, first off, what is a love tank? Imagine it like a fuel tank in your car. So, when it's full, you're cruising along, feeling great, and everything seems easier. But when it's empty, even the smallest things can feel like a huge struggle. So, how do you know if your love tank is running on empty? So, here are some signs. So, you might feel disconnected from the people you care about. Little things start to annoy you more than usual. You might feel unappreciated or taken for granted. So, there's a sense of loneliness even when you're not alone. So, think for a moment, how full is your love tank right now? So, if you had to rate it on the scale of 1 to 10, what would it be? You can type it in the chat box if you want. Now, why does it matter? Why does love tank matter? So, because When our love tank is low, it affects everything, our mood, our energy, our relationships. But here's the thing, we all fill our love tanks in a very different ways. For example, maybe for you, a full love tank means getting those sweet messages throughout the day, or perhaps it's spending quality time with someone you care about. Everyone has their own unique way of feeling loved. And that's where the love languages come in. So let's figure out how to keep our tanks full and our relationships running smoothly. Okay, so the feeling of love. You know that stage where everything is just perfect? We call it in love euphoria. It's like when you first meet someone and suddenly the world feels brighter, music sounds better, and even your coffee tastes sweeter, as they show it in the Bollywood. So, in love euphoria. So, this stage is like a wild ride, I can say. You feel this intense connection, and it's like the other person can do no wrong. We tend to put on those rose colored glasses, seeing only the best in each other. But here's the catch, this euphoria is a bit of an illusion. It's not that the feelings are not real, they are absolutely are real, but during this time we are not really seeing the whole picture. It's like falling in love with the idea of someone rather than the reality of who they are. Now, what is perfectionism illusion? So, ever heard someone say they're perfect for me? So, in this stage, we genuinely believe that. But perfection is an illusion. We start projecting our ideas onto the other person, and any flaws they have seem to magically disappear. But no one's actually perfect, and that's totally okay. So, how long does this euphoria last? So, typically up to 2 years. So, after that, reality starts to set in. The quirks or the things which we found cute might start to get on our nerves. And we begin to see the person more fully, flaws and everything, we see it fully. So let's say, for an example, maybe in the beginning, you loved how spontaneous your partner was, always down for a last minute adventure. But a year into the relationship, the same spontaneity might start feeling a bit chaotic for you. It's not that the person has changed, it's just that the euphoria has worn off and now you're seeing them more clearly. But here's the good news, this is where the real love begins. When the euphoria fades, we have a choice to build something deeper and more lasting. So, that is what is the feeling of love. Let's move on to know how a love language is being formed. So, ever wonder why you feel more loved when someone does a specific thing for you? Maybe it is giving you a hug or spending quality time together. So, well, this all goes back to our childhood. So, our love languages start to take shape when we are young. So, think about how your parents or caregivers showed love to you. Were they affectionate? Did they spend lots of time with you? Or maybe they always gave you little gifts to show they were thinking of you. So these experiences starts to mold our primary love language. For example, if your mom always made time to play with you, chances are quality time might be high on your love language list. Or if your dad was always there to help you with homework, acts of service could be your go-to. Now, here's something interesting. Sometimes, if we receive a lot of one type of love language as a child, that can become our default. For example, if you were constantly praised and affirmed as the priority, your love language might become acts of service. All right. Am I audible? Can someone please give me a thumbs up if it is? Okay, thank you so much. Sorry guys, there was a technical issue. So as I was saying, we were discussing about receiving too much of it. So imagine you were always this star student, praised for every achievement. And as an adult, you might feel most loved when someone recognizes your efforts or compliments you. Because it is very familiar to you, it's comforting, and it's how you learn to interpret love. Now, on the flip side, sometimes our primary love language is formed by what we did not get enough of. If you grew up feeling like something was missing, maybe not enough hugs or words of encouragement, you might seek that out in your relationships now. For instance, if you didn't get much physical affection growing up, you might find yourself really valuing physical touch in your adult relationships. It's like you're filling that gap you've always felt. So, understanding where our love languages comes from helps us not only understand ourselves better, but also connect more deeply with others. So, so let's move on to the five love languages. So now we are getting into the heart of the matter, that are the five love languages. So these are the different ways we give and receive love. So understanding these can totally change how we connect with the people we care about. So let's break them down. Words of affirmation. So this love language is all about using words to uplift and encourage. So if this is your primary love language, you feel most loved when someone says something kind, supportive, or appreciative of you. So, for example, ever if you had a tough day and someone just said the right thing to lift your spirits, a simple "You're doing great" or "I believe in you" can make all the difference. The next love language, which is the quality time. So this one's about giving someone your undivided attention, no distractions, just being fully present with each other. For people who value quality time, it's not about what you do, but about being together. So it's like when you felt really connected with someone just by sitting and talking, maybe over a coffee or during a long walk. So that's quality time in action. The next love language we have is the receiving gifts. So for some, love is best expressed through thoughtful gifts. But it's not about the price tag, it's about the thought behind the gift. So these gifts are symbols of love and show that someone was thinking of you. So receiving a gift that wasn't expensive but had a lot of meaning behind it, like it might be like as simple as a handwritten note or a small token that reminded someone of you. That's what this love language is all about. Now the physical touch. Now this language is all about touch. It might be hugs, kisses, holding hands. It's the physical connection that makes people feel loved and secure. So think about how comforting it is to get a hug when you're feeling down, or holding hands can instantly make you feel closer to someone. Now that's the power of physical touch. Now the last and fifth language of love, that is acts of service. Now this love language is all about doing something for your partner that they will appreciate. It's about taking the time and effort to make their life a little easier. So like it's like someone doing something for you that you were not wanting to do. It might be like washing the dishes after a very long day. It's those little acts that can mean the world when acts of service is your love language. So now that we have covered the five love languages, which one do you think is your primary love language? Let's see, just type it in the chat box, or you can even raise your hand and you can answer it. quality time. Okay. Acts of service. Okay, so we have lots of quality time and acts of service. Hmm. All right. Let's move on. Great. Words of appreciation as well. Words of affirmation, yes. Now let's move on to the first love language, words of affirmation. So there's a famous quote by Mark Twain that goes, I can live for 2 months on a good compliment. So now think about that for a second. A single genuine compliment can have such a lasting impact, right? It's like it's like it's the food for your soul. Now, compliments for those who resonate with this love language, verbal compliments and encouraging words are like pure gold for us. They make us feel appreciated, valued, and most importantly, it will make us feel loved. So, whether it's a simple, you did a great job, or I'm proud of you, these words can really lift our spirits. So, for example, you have had a very rough day, and then someone out of the blue tells you you're amazing at what you do, and suddenly everything just feels better. So, that's the power of words of affirmation. Now, let's talk about what it means to really encourage someone. The word encourage literally means to inspire courage in someone else. It's about lifting them up, giving them the confidence to keep going, and showing them that you believe in them. Okay. Um, let's try something fun here. I want you guys to think of someone in your life who could use a little encouragement right now. Now, just picture their face and now imagine what you would say to them to lift their spirits. I'm just going to give you guys a moment to reflect on this and then we'll move on. If anybody wants to share, they can go ahead. All right. Now let's move to the. So now, after this workshop, I want, if it's possible for you guys, to reach out to that person and actually tell them what you just thought of. It might be exactly what they need to hear today, and you'll see just how powerful words of affirmations can be. And remember, it's not just about saying something nice, it's about meaning it. That's what really makes these words so powerful. Now, let's move. We have a case study here. That is so Sham loves his wife immensely, and he is the kind of person who believes in taking care of his responsibilities. He pays the bills, helps out with the kids, and makes sure everything is in order. His wife really appreciates this. She feels happy and loved by all that he does for this family. But here's the twist. Sham, despite doing all of this, feels unloved. He feels unappreciated, like something is missing. Now, why? Why does this happen? Let's try to understand what's going on. So, Sham's wife shows her love by spending quality time with him and making sure he's well fed with his favorite meals. She's trying to show love in the way she knows best. But Sham feels unappreciated because he's not hearing the words that makes him feel valued. So what's the issue here? So the issue here is a mismatch in love languages. Sham's primary love language might be words of affirmation. He needs to hear things like, thank you for all that you do, or I really appreciate you to feel truly loved. While he's doing acts of service to show his love, he's craving words of affirmation in return. Did someone raise their hands? Okay. All right. So the key takeaway here is that when love is present, it might not always be felt if it's not communicated in the right way. All right, I will do that. Okay, so I hope you all can see the slides and can read it. I'll just go on to the issue. Oh, sorry. So this is a case of Sham. So he loves his wife immensely. So he's taking care of his responsibilities. He's paying the bills. He's helping out with the kids, and he's making sure everything is in order. And his wife really appreciates this. She feels happy, and she's loved by all that he does for the family. But in spite of all of this, Sham is not feeling loved. He doesn't feel appreciated enough. So why is it happening? So his wife is showing her love by spending quality time with him and making sure he's well fed with his favorite meals. So she's trying to show him love in the way she knows how to do. But even then, Sham is feeling unappreciated because he's not hearing the words that will make him feel valued or loved. So the issue here is the mismatch in the love languages. Sham's primary love language might be the words of affirmation. So he needs to hear the things, thank you for all that he's doing. He wants to hear things like, I really appreciate you for doing what you're doing. And he needs to hear this to feel truly loved. So while he's doing acts of service to show his love, he's craving for words of affirmation from his wife. So here the love is present, but it might not always be felt if it's not communicated in the right way. So, understanding each other's love languages can help us express love in the way that truly resonates with our partner. Okay, let's move on. Now, how do we learn this language of words of affirmation? So, write down what you appreciate. So start by writing down all the things you appreciate in your partner. It could be anything, big or small. Maybe you love how they always know how to make you laugh, or how they're so reliable when things get tough for you. Write down all of those things. So let's say your partner is always the one who remembers to pick up groceries or handles the tough conversations if you are married with the kids. So write it down. When you start listing these things, you'll realize just how much you value them. Next, take a moment to really look at your partner's strengths. What do they excel at? Tell them how much you appreciate these strengths. This isn't just about saying thanks, but about recognizing what makes them special. So let's say if your partner is great at problem solving, let them know how much you admire that ability. Like saying, I really appreciate how you always find a solution no matter the situation. It's specific and it shows you're paying attention to your partner, and that will make them feel loved and valued. Now, here's a challenge: give your partner a compliment every day. It could be as simple as, you look great today, or I love how you handled that situation. These little moments of affirmations can add up and make a huge difference. Now, speaking of self love, let's not forget about appreciating ourselves. So, create a jar of appreciative statements. Every day, write down one thing you love or appreciate about yourself and put it in a jar. So, over time, this jar becomes a powerful reminder of your own worth and strengths. For example, let's say you have handled a very difficult task at work today. Just write down, I'm proud of how resilient I am. And let's say I'm proud of how I could solve this problem I had today. So it might feel a little strange at first, but trust me, it's really effective. So words of affirmation might seem simple, but they're incredibly powerful. When we take the time to express appreciation, whether to a partner or to ourselves, we are filling that love tank one word at a time. Now, I hope you all have a pen and paper with you. If you do not have, please can grab one for me and just give me a thumbs up if you all are ready. All right. So we have few statements here. Um, we have certain questions which will go on throughout this workshop. It- like for example, we have a pair of statements. Now, and note, I want you guys to note down which one of these describe you. There's a letter like E and C. If you feel like you feel loved when you hold me in your arms, write down E. If it's I feel loved when I receive a gift from you, right? Just note down C. Either one of that. I hope it was clear. All right. Okay. So we'll move on to the next few questions. So this is the first question. Uh, Note down which one describes best describes for who you are. Next, we have the second question, that is A. I like to receive notes of affirmation from you, and E. I like it when you hug me. That's the second question. Either if you note down which one describes you, just give me a thumbs up if you all are ready. Okay. Sorry guys, that it's raining over here and there's a little network issue. I hope I'm audible now and the screen is visible. Okay, thank you. And I'm so sorry for the inconvenience. Okay, are you guys done with this one so that we can move on? Pramila, which clip do you want me to show? Okay, okay, let's move on. So there's the next two questions, that is fourth and fifth. Fourth question is C, I like it when you give me gifts, and B, I like taking long walks with you. Choose which one would you, which describes the best for you. And fifth is I feel loved when you do things to help me. E, I feel loved when you hug or touch me. Once done with noting down, just give me a thumbs up so I know that I can move forward. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Now let's move on to the next love language, that is acts of service. It's all about doing things you know your partner would like you to do. It's about taking the initiative to help them out in ways that makes their life easier and more enjoyable. So like example, think about things you can do for your partner, like cooking a meal, preparing their favorite dinner after a long day at work. It could be cleaning, it could be doing home projects, like if there's something which needs to be repaired or something that's very small that you can handle it yourself, doing that. Uh, all of this I'm really sorry. Just give me a moment. I'll just change the network. Okay, I'm really sorry. Just give me 2 minutes. I'm trying to rectify this problem. All right. Am I audible now? I'm so sorry. Okay, I hope we do not have any more disturbances now. So yeah, as we were talking about the impact. So now these acts require a lot of thought, planning, time, effort, and energy. So when done with a positive spirit, they are indeed a powerful expressions of love. So when we perform acts of service, we are showing our partner that we care about their well-being. It's not just about action itself; it's about the intention behind it. So acts of service are a beautiful way to express love, but it's important to communicate and understand your partner's needs as well. Just as with other love languages, knowing how your partner feels loved can enhance your relationships. Now let's move on to we have another case study over here. So Pranav, so he works long hours, about 10 hours each day. So when he finally gets home, all he really wants is a nice dinner and a good night's sleep. Fortunately, his wife takes care of his laundry and dinner, which makes him feel loved and appreciated. Now, here's the interesting part. During the weekends, Pranav makes sure to spend quality time with his wife. They plan activities together, whether it's a hike, a movie night, or even a simple stroll in the park. So, this time spent together strengthens their bond and fills both of their love ties. So, what can we deduce about Pranav's love language here? Can you guess what's Pranav's love language, anyone? Physical touch. All right, okay. So Pranav he's working for 10 hours each day. So when he gets home, he really wants a nice dinner and a really good sleep. So in his wife takes care of his laundry and the dinner, and that makes him feel loved and appreciated. And during the weekends, He makes sure to spend quality time with his wife. They plan activities together, whether it might be as simple as taking a hike, a movie night, or even a stroll in the park. Now, this time spent together, it strengthens their bond and it fills both of their love tanks, and they both are happily married. Okay, spending, yes, yes, right. So acts of service and quality time are his love language. So Pranav feels loved when his wife takes care of his laundry and prepares dinner for him after a long day. So this act shows that she's supporting him and it makes his life easier. Now Pranav also values quality time as he actively ensures they spend weekends together doing activities they both enjoy. Now, Pranav's love language seemed to be combination of acts of service and quality time. So he feels loved through the actions his wife takes care takes to support him and that cherishes the time they share together. So let's move. Now let's move to the how to learn these acts of service. So here are some actionable steps that you can take to show love through acts of service. So it's important to communicate your needs. If there is something specific you'd like your partner to do, don't hesitate to ask. So clear communication is key to understanding each other's love languages. So sometimes acts of service can be influenced by traditional gender roles, but no, so be open to challenging those stereotypes. Both partners can take on tasks regardless of what society typically expects. Now sit down with your partner and make a list of things they would appreciate you doing for them. So this could range from doing household chores to any small little things that any small errands that you wanted to do. And it's a great way of showing that you care about their needs. For example, your partner might appreciating you doing the groceries or maybe organizing their closet or even just running a small errand to some shop. So, if you're new to this, start with the small gestures. Like you can take the garbage without being asked, or you can make them coffee in the morning. So, bringing them medicine when they're feeling under the weather. So, these small acts can make a big difference in how loved and supported they feel. And sometimes our partners just need a break. So encourage them to relax and take over a task they usually handle. So this not only shows you care but also gives them a moment to unwind. So if your partner has had a very long rough day at work, suggest they sit back while you handle dinner or any work that they have to do. So it's a simple way to show your love and appreciation. So, by actively engaging in acts of service, you're not just helping out, you're expressing love in a way that resonates with your partner. So, remember, it's all about the intention and the thoughtfulness. Now, let's note down, we have a few questions here as well. So, it's the same. We have questions, just note down which one of these do you describes you. So the sixth question is like, I like to go places with you. Or is it E, I like to hold hands with you? Which one resonates the better? The seventh question is A, I feel loved when you acknowledge me. C is visible symbols of love are very important to you. Just note down which one describes the best for you. Okay, now the next questions. That is 8A, if do you like to sit close to you? Or A, I like it when you tell me that I'm attractive. Or is it in eighth question, what do you prefer? Which describes the best for you? Is it E or A? And the next question we have is ninth. Do you like you like spending time with your partner? Do you like to receive little gifts from them? Just note down at the end of this session, we'll have a evaluation. All right. Is everyone done with this slide? Okay, we'll go to the previous slide. Pramila, once you're done, just give me a thumbs up. Okay, thank you. Now the last question is the 10th one. Which one of these describes you the most? Alright, let's move on to the next love language, that is receiving gifts. So now this love language is all about the thoughtfulness and effort behind giving gifts. For those who resonate with this love language, gifts are a visual symbol of love. So they represent the time and care taken to select something special for you. So it's important to note that it's not about the monetary value of the gift, it's not about the price of the gift, it's the sentiment that counts. A thoughtful gift shows that you've been thinking about your partner and what would make them happy. Sometimes the greatest gift you can give is your presence, especially during times of crisis. Being there for someone, offering emotional support, or simply lending an ear can be incredibly meaningful. And this gift of self emphasizes the importance of being physically present when it matters the most. For example, physical gifts like a bouquet of flowers, a handwritten note, or a book you know they have been wanting to read. Gifting these things would make them feel loved. Or it can be the presence, by being by their side during a difficult time, like a family emergency or a stressful event. Just showing up can mean the world to them. So, for those who resonate with receiving gifts, it's essential to recognize that gifts are not just items, they're expressions of love and appreciation. It's the thoughtless that transforms an ordinary object into something extraordinary. Now, let's look at a case study here for this love language. So, Seema, she is a 21-year-old pursuing her postgraduate degree in economics. So, being away from her family can be tough, especially on special occasions. So, tomorrow is her birthday, and to her delight, her family surprised her with a cake at midnight. And on top of that, her friends at the PG organized a small birthday party for her. Even though it was simple and inexpensive gesture, it made her feel loved and cared for. So, what can we see about her language here? What can you guess? What is Seema's love language? So, linking to the previous slide, we were talking about receiving gifts. Her love language is receiving gifts. So, the cake from her family, which symbolizes their love and thoughtfulness, making her feel cherished even when they are far. And the birthday celebrations, though it is simple, it is a significant act of love from her friends. It shows that they thought of her and wanted to make her day special. So Seema's love language, as you guys have said here, is receiving gifts, and for her, the cake and the effort put into her celebrating her birthday represented love and care from both her family and friends. So let's learn how do we learn this language. So here are some practical steps you can take. For those who resonate with this love language, it may require a shift in your perspective about spending. Remember, it's not about the price tag, it's about the thought and intention behind the gift. Sometimes a very heartfelt gesture can mean more than an expensive item. And maintain a gift idea notebook. So keep a notebook or you can even keep a note in your phone dedicated to gift ideas. So this can help you list down thoughts whenever something comes to your mind, or when you hear your partner mention something they like. For example, if your partner is casually saying, "Oh, I wish I had this," during a conversation, write it down. So that's a perfect opportunity for a thoughtful gift later on. And next, be observant. Pay attention to your partner's interests and preferences. So, this can guide you in choosing gifts that truly resonate with them. So, it can be a favorite book, it can be a new gadget, or a specific snack. They might love something specific, any biscuit or any chips that they love to have. So, the little details can make a big difference. So, if you feel overwhelmed by gift giving, consider finding a personal shopper, or in such cases it can be like just asking a friend who is good at picking gifts for advice, so they can help you out in brainstorming ideas based on your person partner's taste and preferences. So by actively engaging in the art of gift giving, you're not only expressing love but also strengthening your connection with your partner. So remember, it's all about the thoughtfulness behind each gift. Now let's we have some questions for this as well. It's the same. Just note down which best resonates with you. Okay, so the 12th question is E. I feel whole when we hug, or is it D? What you do affects me more than what you say. Okay, just give me a thumbs up if you guys done with this slide. So we move on to the next one. Are we done here? Okay. So the next slide, 13th question, that is A. I value your praise and try to avoid your criticism. C. Several inexpensive gifts mean more to me than one large expensive gift. So which one of these describes you the best? Or is it 14th E. I feel closer to you when you touch me, or is it B. I feel close when we are talking or doing something together? All right. Let's move on to the next question, that is 15th. Do you like to compliment my achievements, or D, is it I know you love me when you do things for me that you don't enjoy doing? All right. So next, let's take a quick break before we go on to the fourth love language to know about the what is one-on-one counseling and the benefits. So what is one-on-one counseling? So it is a personalized, confidential session between a client and a trained therapist. So it helps in gaining insights into your thoughts, behavior, and emotions. So it addresses specific issues such as anxiety, stress, or any relationship problems or any concerns that you guys have. And we work towards personal and professional goals with the support of a counselor. So there are certain misconceptions when it comes to counseling. The misconception can be that counseling is only for those who are sick, but in reality, counseling is for anyone who wants to be their best version in terms of the relationship, or it can be about your friendships, if you have any academic stress, if you want academic success, or it can also be about your career. So why choose MindTribe for counseling? Because our team consists of experienced and skilled therapists, and here S- and we it's very affordable. The counseling sessions range from 500 to 5,000 depending on the seniority of the counselor, and all the first session is always free. So you can experience the counseling services without any initial fee cost, and once comfortable you can invest in the budget friendly counseling packages that we have. So do you guys have any questions here before we move to the fourth love language? And also I'll be sharing in my in the group. You can reach out to me at any time for any information. All right, now let's move on to the fourth love language, the physical touch. So physical touch is one of the most powerful ways to communicate love. For those who resonate with this love language, physical affection speaks volumes and can deeply enhance emotional connection. So there are certain forms of physical touch. So there are many ways to express love through physical touch, which includes holding hands. It can be cuddling, it can be embracing, or it can be kissing, or it can even be sexual intercourse. So physical touch can make or break a relationship. So it fosters closeness, intimacy, and emotional safety. For many, a lack of physical affection can lead to feelings of disconnection or loneliness. So it's crucial to be mindful of appropriate and inappropriate ways to touch. Always be respectful of your partner's comfort levels and personal boundaries because consent is key. So, for those who identify with physical touch as their primary love language, it's essential to communicate openly about what feels good and what doesn't. This way, both partners can feel valued and respected. So, we have a case study over here. So, Preeti, she lives alone during the pandemic. So, while she stays connected with her friends and regularly video chats with her family, she still feels a sense of loneliness. So, her boyfriend, who is stuck in Mumbai, tries to make her feel loved by ordering food for her, which he believes is a thoughtful gesture to pamper her. Yes, Harshita, I'll show it after this. So, however, despite these efforts, Preeti feels tired and miserable. So she expresses that while her basic needs are being fulfilled, she craves love and connection in more emotional way. So what can we understand by Preeti's love language? So here, the physical touch. Preeti is missing physical affection and connection. So during times of isolation, gestures like hugs, holding hands, or simply being physically present can mean a lot more than material gestures like food deliveries. And she may also yearn for quality time together, especially given the context of pandemic where physical presence is limited. So video chats can't replace the warmth and intimacy of being together in person. So Preeti's love language appears to be physical touch with a strong need for emotional connection and quality time. So while her boyfriend's efforts are well intentioned, they don't fill her deeper emotional needs. So Harshita asked for 14 and 15 question. I think we'll come back to it later because we're running out of time. Just remind me once. Okay, so next, how do we learn this physical touch? So physical touch during stressful periods, physical touch can provide comfort and reassurance. So it will help in giving a sense of safety and connection. So a simple gesture like holding hands, hand rubs, and massages goes a long way. So it can be intimate positions like arm around the shoulders. So while when standing and talking, putting your arm around your partner, it creates a sense of unity and support. And placing your hand on their shoulder while conversing can make your partner feel valued and cherished. So, physical touch is a very powerful love language that can bring immense comfort and connection, especially during tough times. It's about creating a safe space where both partners feel loved and appreciated. So, next we have a question, and Harshita, I'll come back to the questions you requested later on. Yes. So, the 16th question, that is E, I feel like I like for you to touch me when you walk by. Or is it B, I like when you listen to me sympathetically? And the 17th question, that is C, I really enjoy receiving gifts from you. And or is it D, I feel loved when you help me with my home projects? Just note down what describes you. Okay. So the next 18 questions, A, I like when you compliment my appearance, or is it B, I feel loved when you take the time to understand my feelings? And the 19th question is that E, I feel secure when you are touching me, or is it D, your acts of service makes me feel loved? Yes, Shaifali, I'll do that. Okay, once done with this slide, just give me a thumbs up. So we'll go to the previous slide once again. Okay, all right, let's go to the previous slide. Yes. Okay, can we move on? Uh, yes, Ashida, I think we can come to that in after we have completed. So I'll explain to you at the end of it again. So this question, the 20th question, is it D, I appreciate the many things you do for me, or is it C, I like receiving gifts that you make? All right, let's move on. So now the last love language, that is quality time. So quality time is all about giving your partner your undivided attention. It's a way of showing that you value them and cherish the moments you spend together. So undivided attention, this means putting aside distractions and being fully present with your partner. So it's not just about being in the same room, it's about engaging with them on a very deeper level. Now, engaging in meaningful conversations where both partners feel heard and understood. Now, this is an opportunity to share thoughts, feelings, or any experiences that you might have. So, when your partner shares their thoughts or feelings, now your aim is to understand and empathize rather than jumping straight to problem solving. Sometimes they just need someone to listen. So the example here could be having date nights, like setting aside specific times for date nights or activities that both of you enjoy can enhance the connection between you both. Or when your partner is talking about their day, showing genuine interest and asking questions to encourage a very deeper discussion. So, for those who resonate with this quality time love language, creating intentional moments together can significantly strengthen your relationship. So, it's about the effort to connect and communicate. Let's move. So, how do we learn this language? So, giving undivided attention. So, practice being fully present when you're with a partner. So, put away the distractions like your phone or TV and just focus on your partner and what they are saying. And this simple act can communicate that they are your priority. So, and observe the non-verbal gestures. So, pay attention to the non-verbal cues, such as the body language and facial expressions. So, this can enhance your understanding on how your partner is feeling, and it will also help in creating a very deeper connection between both. And engage in quality activities. So, find activities that you both enjoy. So, it can be cooking together, taking a walk together, or playing a game. So these shared experiences, it will create memories and also it will strengthen the bond. Now don't forget about yourself as well. So take time for self-care. It is very essential for maintaining a healthy relationship. So when you're fulfilled individually, you can be more present and engaged in your relationships. So learning to speak the love language of quality time means prioritizing meaningful interactions and being present for each other. So these small efforts can lead to a deeper connection and understanding. Okay. So now again we have few questions. So the 21st question, that is B, I really enjoy the feeling I get when you give me your undivided attention, or is it D, I really enjoy the feeling I get when you do some acts of service for me? Or is it 22nd question, C, I feel loved when you celebrate my birthday with a gift? Or is it A, I feel loved when you celebrate my birthday with meaningful words? Okay, let's move to the next questions. That is 23rd. Is it D, I feel loved when you help me out with my course? Or is it C, I know you're thinking of me when you give me a gift? The 24th question, that is C, I appreciate it when you remember special days with a gift. Or is it B, I appreciate it when you listen patiently and don't interrupt me? Okay, let's move to the next question, that is 25th. B, enjoy extended trips with you, or is it D, I like to know what you are concerned enough to help me with my daily task? Alright, let's move to the questions. That is, I'm going to give you some times to go through this. Is it 20 E, kissing me unexpectedly makes me feel loved, or is it C, giving me a gift for no occasion makes me feel loved? Which one of this describes you? Is it E or C? Now the 27th question, that is A, I like to be told that you appreciate me, or is it B, I like for you to look at me when we are talking? So which one of that describes you the best? Okay, let's move to the next thing. The 28th question, that is C, your gifts are always special to me, or is it E, I feel loved when you kiss me? Now, the 29th question is A, I feel loved when you tell me how much you appreciate me, or is it D, I feel loved when you enthusiastically do a task I have requested? Which one of these describes you the most? Okay, so this is the last question. That is 30th. That is E, I need to be hugged by you every day, or is it A, I need your words of affirmation daily? So there are 30 questions. So just go through if you have noted down each one of your preferences. If you have missed any, just let me know so that you can go back and complete it before we go to the evaluation. Or if all the 30 are done, just give me a thumbs up. 12th question. Okay, Zainab, I'll come to that. Okay. Huh, 12th question. Okay, Harshita, 14th and 15th. Yes. Yeah, the 14th question, which is in the red. In the 15th question. Um, Question 2 and 3. Yes, I just give me. Harshita, you is it done? Okay. Second and third question. Okay. Yes. Yes, here it is. Once done, just give me a thumbs up so we can move to the evaluation. Does anybody else have any missing? Yes, Harshita. You're asking about the evaluation, right? How many B do you have? How many C's, how many D's, and how many E's you have? So count all of that. For example, in the option of C, if you have uh, like five, let's say five C's you have, so count them down. So out of 12, it's five. Okay. Now let's say A is 10. So that means your love language could be words of affirmation. Whichever is the higher number, that is your love language. 14th question. Okay. As everybody else is clear, have you guys evaluated? Just give thumbs up if it's done for you all. Mm-hmm. All right, let's go to the 14th question. Yes. All right. So Are you guys done with evaluation? So we are almost done. So yes, Chef Ali, let me conclude it and then I'll come back and show you guys all the slides. So we are going to wrapping up our workshop on love language. So let's take a moment to summarize what we have learned today. So there are five love languages. So we explored the five love languages, that is words of affirmation, acts of service, receiving gifts, physical touch, and quality time. So each love language, it offers a very unique ways to express and receive love, helping us to understand our partners better. Now it's possible to be bilingual. So many people resonate with more than one language. So you might find that you express love in one way while needing to receive love in another. So you might also have two love languages. So understanding this will also enhance the communication and connection in your relationships. So now ultimately love is a choice. You can choose to love the love language of your loved ones, making a conscious effort to meet their emotional needs. And this choice, it will help in gaining a deeper understanding, and it will also help in strengthening your bond. So, by embracing these love languages, we can create more fulfilling and loving relationships. Okay, so any questions? Does anybody have any questions? And also, this workshop is going to be recorded, so you can also watch it Yes. So if you guys are interested in knowing more about the love languages, please feel you can always download and purchase the book from the Amazon. So then it's a book. All this workshop is based on the book by Dr. Gary Chapman. So yes, now let's come back to the request that we have. That is okay. The 24th question. Okay, 21st. Yeah, here's the 21st question. Thank you so much. So, do we have any questions? If you have any question, you can feel free to ask, and you can even drop it in the chat box. And Harshita, you asked me about the physical slight touch. Yes. Are you here? Yes. I'll go to that. Yes. So, the physical touch. Now, physical touch, so it is a very powerful way of communicating love. So, if you're the one who resonates with this love language, physical affection will speak lots of volume to you, and it will also help with deeply enhancing the emotional connections that you have. So, there are many ways to express love through physical touch, and it includes like holding hands. It might be through kissing. It might be through embracing them, cuddling, or it can be through sexual intercourse. So all of these are a way of communicating emotional love. So physical touch, it can make or break a relationship. So it because it fosters closeness, intimacy, and emotional safety. So for many, a lack of physical affection can lead to feelings of disconnection or loneliness. So it's crucial to be very mindful of the appropriate and also the inappropriate ways to touch. So understanding your partner's comfort levels, being respectful of their comfort levels, and also their personal boundaries is very important. And if you do identify with physical touch as your primary love language, it is essential to communicate openly about what feels good and what does not feel good for you. So this way, both partners can feel valued and respected. And also, many people automatically assume that physical touch is their primary love language because of their desire for sexual intercourse. However, if you do not appreciate physical touch in non sexual ways at other times, it may not be your love language at all. Because sexual desire is very different from emotional need to feel loved. Okay. So next slide we have a case study, that is Preeti. She lives alone. It's during the time when during pandemic. So she's living alone and during the pandemic. So while she stays connected to her friends and she's regularly video calling her family, she still feels a sense of loneliness. And her boyfriend, who is also in Mumbai, alone, he is trying his best to make her feel loved by ordering food for her, which he believes is a thoughtful gesture to pamper him. So, however, despite these efforts, Preeti is feeling tired and she is feeling miserable. So, she expresses that while her basic needs are being fulfilled, she craves love and connection in a more emotional way. So, what can we understand from this case study? So, physical touch here, Preeti is missing physical affection and connection. So, during the time of isolation, gestures like hugs, holding hands, or simply being physically present can mean a lot more than the material gestures like food deliveries, which her boyfriend is doing. Now, she may also want to have quality time together. So, especially given the context of the pandemic, where physical presence is totally very limited, video chats cannot replace the warmth and intimacy of being together in person. So, Preeti's love language here appears to be physical touch. So, she has a strong need for emotional connection and quality time. So, while her boyfriend's efforts are well intentioned, he means really good. He means good to her. He wants to pamper her, but they are not fulfilling her deeper emotional needs because her love language is physical touch. Now, how do we learn this language? So, if your partner's primary love language is physical touch, so nothing is more important than holding your partner as they cry or just to hold their hand, because for them words may mean little, but those tender touches will be remembered long after the crisis has passed. So, Uh, so reach out and hold your partner's hand. Give them hand rubs, massages. It can be like pulling cheeks and putting your arm around your partner while you're standing, talking, or simply placing your hand on their shoulder. All of this will be very helpful. It will make them feel valued. It will make them feel loved. And also a very self-love tip, which is the butterfly hug. If you guys have heard about it, so if you have not heard about it, just Google it. It makes us feel self-loved. It's a way of hugging ourselves. So physical touch is a very powerful love language that can bring immense comfort and connection, especially during tough times. So it's about creating a safe space where both partners will feel loved and appreciated. I hope I could explain it to you, Harshita. Does anyone have any questions? Thank you so much, Shita, for asking that. Love tank. Okay, let me go to that slide. Okay, so here first, very important is to understand what is a love tank. So it's basically like you fill your fuel in your car, right? It's now love is like a fuel to your soul. So when it's full, you're feeling great. Your everything seems very clear to you. Everything feels seems very easier. But when it feels empty, even the smallest things can feel like a huge struggle for you. So how do you know when if your love tank is running empty? So there are certain signs for that. So if you feel disconnected from the people you care about, that might suggest that the love tank is empty. So little things will start to annoy you more than usual. You might feel unappreciated, or you might feel you're taken for granted, or there might be a sense of loneliness. Even if you're not alone, you might be surrounded by people, even then you would feel a sense of loneliness. And that these are the signs to look out for if you, that suggests that your love tank might be empty. Now, think for a moment how full is your love tank? Hmm? We can think about it how and why. Now let's talk about why does it matter about the love tank. So because when our love tank is low, it will affect everything. It will affect our energy. It will affect our relationships, our mood, and also the why love languages are important is because we fill our love tanks in a very different way. We all have a unique ways of filling these love tanks. For example, maybe for you or maybe for me, a full love tank means like if I get a sweet messages from my friends or my partner throughout the day, if I'm getting like very sweet messages from someone, or perhaps if quality time is your love language, then if spending quality time with someone you care about, so that might help you in filling that love tank. So everyone has their own unique way of feeling loved, and that's where the love languages come in. I hope that explained it. Any other questions, any queries, any confusions if anybody has? All right. So if there are no questions or if there's no nothing else that you guys want to ask, uh, you can leave the call because we have already passed 27 minutes. I'm so sorry for taking so much time of you guys. Thank you all for joining in, and I hope this was a valuable session for you guys. And I hope you understood the love languages much better, and you can. Uh, what can I say for this? You can add into your lives much better. It will help in connecting to your partners much better way. Okay. Camila, thank you, Zainab. Could you explain what are the questions with ACT? Oh, okay. Let's just stay back, Pramila. I'll go through all of that to make you understand.